The Rules to Break by Richard Templar. Welcome to Bookshare Audio, where every page becomes a window into the wisdom of life, where stories become mirrors reflecting the truth of our choices, and every idea invites us to think deeply about the kind of person we wish to become. In this reflection, we explore the journey of breaking false beliefs, unlearning what limits us, and rediscovering the strength that comes from thinking for ourselves. This is not about rules written by others. It's about finding your own rhythm, your own compass, and your own truth in a world full of noise and imitation. Life teaches us countless lessons through repetition. From childhood, we are filled with sayings, advice, and moral codes that shape how we think and act. We are told what success means, how to behave, what is right, what is wrong, and who we should become. Yet as we grow, many of these inherited rules stop helping us and begin to restrict us. They shape our lives in ways that no longer fit the reality we live in. The essence of wisdom lies in learning to question, to think, not to blindly follow. The heart of true growth is not obedience, but awareness. Every generation inherits habits and beliefs that once served a purpose, but now only preserve fear and conformity. We are told that success equals money, that respect must always be earned from others, that authority always knows best, and that life has a clear path we must follow. But the truth is far more complex and far more liberating. Real success is not about possessions or approval, but peace of mind and the quiet satisfaction that your life is your own. The only person who truly defines success for you is you. To live well, one must first break the illusion that happiness is handed down by others. Many people live as if they are waiting for permission. Permission to rest, to feel proud, to change direction, to say no. But no one else can give you the life you want. It begins the moment you stop blaming others, stop chasing what society expects, and start trusting your own voice. The world is not against you. It simply reflects what you allow and what you believe. Responsibility is not a burden, it is freedom. It is the power to build your life instead of waiting for it to happen. One of the most destructive beliefs we carry is that we must measure ourselves by comparison. We envy others because we see only their highlight reel, the laughter, the possessions, the confidence. But what we see in others is only what they choose to show. Every life hides pain and struggle beneath its surface. The moment we realize that, we stop wishing to be anyone else. We start to see the beauty in being ourselves. Flawed, uncertain, but authentic. There is no luck that replaces persistence, and no gift greater than knowing who you are. It is also easy to believe that external validation defines worth. The grades we earn, the job we hold, the approval we receive. Yet qualifications, fame, and applause are fragile measures. The greatest work is not about titles or achievements, but about growth. The invisible transformation that happens when you choose honesty, discipline, and courage over comfort. True education comes not from classrooms, but from the quiet trials of living. The moments you fail, reflect, and start again. We often hold our parents, teachers, and leaders as unshakable authorities. Yet no one is perfect. Parents make mistakes. Teachers don't know everything. And society often repeats patterns that make people smaller, not stronger. The point is not rebellion for its own sake, but clarity. To see that everyone, even those we admire, are human. To grow up fully is to take what is valuable, question what is outdated, and forgive what was done in ignorance. Maturity is not about defiance, but discernment. Some people spend their lives resenting what they didn't get, affection, fairness, understanding, as if the past must forever define the future. But the real shift happens when you stop blaming and start building. Life does not owe you comfort, but it gives you the power to create meaning. Every setback can become strength if you stop asking why me and start asking what now. The world does not favor or punish. It simply responds to your energy. When you rise above blame, you stop being a victim and start becoming the author of your life. Respect, too, is often misunderstood. We demand it as a right, but forget that respect grows where tolerance and humility exist. To live peacefully, one must accept that not everyone will behave as we wish. People are imperfect, and so are we. Every small irritation becomes easier to bear when we stop expecting perfection from others. Tolerance does not mean weakness. It means understanding that harmony is built not by control, but by patience and empathy. Another illusion is that of distance between family and friendship. Many grow up believing that family is fixed and friendship is chosen. But true family goes beyond blood. It is the bond of shared history, forgiveness, and the willingness to keep showing up. Your siblings, parents, or relatives may not always be easy to love, but they are the longest witnesses to your story. When you make peace with them, you make peace with yourself. Forgiveness is not approval. It is release. When you let go of resentment, you reclaim your power to love freely. Authority, too, can mislead. We are told to obey teachers, bosses, systems. Yet, wisdom does not come from titles, it comes from awareness. Many bright minds are overlooked because they don't fit traditional molds. But creativity often begins with defiance. The greatest innovators were once misunderstood because they refused to live by someone else's idea of what works. To get on in life is not about fitting in. It's about finding where your originality has value. For those who feel shy or unheard, there is a powerful truth. Communication is not about how much you speak, but how deeply you listen. The best conversations are not competitions of words, but connections of understanding. Listening opens doors that talking never could. It allows you to see the world through others' eyes, and in return, helps others feel seen. Silence, when chosen with awareness, becomes strength. In every crowd, you'll find difficult people, the boastful, the bitter, the rude. But even they are reflections of pain. No one chooses to be cruel without a reason. Those who hurt others often carry wounds of their own. To understand them is not to excuse them, but to free yourself from the poison of resentment. Kindness does not make you weak, it makes you untouchable. When you learn to respond with calm instead of anger, no one can control your peace. The belief that some people aren't worth your time robs you of compassion. Every person carries a story, unseen. When you treat others with dignity, even when they don't return it, you protect your own soul from bitterness. What matters is not how others behave, but how you choose to respond. You will never regret being kind, even to those who did not deserve it. The true strength of character lies in consistency, in doing good without needing applause. Pain, both physical and emotional, is part of the human experience, yet how we frame it determines its power. When you stop labeling discomfort as suffering, it loses its ability to control your emotions. Acceptance is not surrender, it is mastery. The body may ache, the heart may break, but the spirit can remain unshaken. Each challenge, when met with calm, refines resiliency. Life does not promise ease. It promises opportunity to grow through discomfort. Work, too, tests character. We are taught that good work will naturally be recognized. But the truth is, silence hides effort. You must learn to communicate your value without arrogance. Let your actions speak, but do not let them go unseen. There is no shame in sharing what you've done well. It is how progress is made visible. The world rewards not only talent, but courage. The courage to say, "This is what I've built." Another illusion that weakens us is the belief that manipulation gets results. Emotional blackmail may give short-term wins, but destroys long-term trust. Integrity means respecting others' choices, even when they go against our desires. If you must convince someone, do it with truth, not guilt. Control may bring compliance, but only honesty builds connection. Order, tidiness, punctuality, these are not moral virtues, just personal preferences. Many live trapped in guilt over small imperfections, believing that discipline equals goodness. But there is no virtue in perfection if it steals your joy. A messy table, a late morning, an unfinished plan, these are not sins. They are reminders that life is not a performance, but a process. Relaxing into imperfection allows creativity and authenticity to breathe. Approval is another trap. When your worth depends on others' opinions, you live in constant negotiation with fear. True peace comes when you no longer need to explain yourself. The voice of your conscience must be louder than the voices around you. Approval fades, integrity remains. The moment you stop seeking validation, you begin to live freely, not recklessly, but truthfully. Generosity and forgiveness complete the circle. The world teaches you to match others' energy, give kindness only to those who deserve it, return anger for anger. But life softens when you choose the opposite. You get what you give, not always from the same hands, but always in the same measure. When you meet cruelty with grace, you rise above its reach. When you give without expecting, you live without fear. Diversity of friendship, too, enriches the soul. When you surround yourself only with people like you, your growth stops. Seek those who challenge your assumptions, who think differently, who make you question your comfort. Every conversation outside your comfort zone widens your humanity. Life's deepest wisdom often comes from the most unexpected voices. The essence of breaking false rules is not rebellion, it's awareness. It's about taking the sayings you've been taught about success, respect, work, or love, and asking, is this true for me? When you live by that question, you stop living by imitation. You stop measuring your life by others' timelines. You start crafting a path shaped by your values, your pace, and your dreams. The courage to question is the beginning of freedom. To live consciously means to see that no rule is absolute. What helps one person may harm another. Wisdom is the ability to adapt, to know when to bend and when to stand firm. Life is fluid, and so must your understanding be. The goal is not to live without rules, but to live by chosen ones. Rules born of reflection, not fear. You are not bound by the script you inherited. You can unlearn what limits you and build new principles that reflect who you've become. This process is not easy, but it is beautiful. Because every time you question an old belief, you reclaim a piece of your power. You become less reactive and more intentional, less judgmental and more compassionate, less afraid and more alive. The journey of growth is not about becoming perfect, but becoming aware. It is about recognizing that your thoughts create your experience. You can choose peace over resentment, effort over envy, gratitude over complaint. You can choose to see beauty where others see routine. You can choose to be kind, even in pain. These are not rules, they are realizations. When you stop living by other people's definitions and start trusting your own inner compass, you discover something extraordinary. You no longer need to chase happiness. You become it. Because happiness is not an achievement. It is the natural state that appears when you stop fighting who you are. So live deliberately. Break the roles that chain your spirit. Keep the ones that protect your integrity. Forgive what hurt you, question what confines you, and hold close the quiet courage to be yourself in a world that wants you to be someone else. Life rewards those who think, not those who obey. Prepared by Bookshare Audio. If you found meaning in this reflection, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Bookshare Audio, and comment below which book you'd love to hear next. Your next favorite story might begin with your suggestion. Thank you.